So, Amber Heard's team can be quite a handful during this defamation trial, and the judge is getting exhausted because of them. This isn't helping the team at all. You have to be on the judge's side all the time if you want to win the trial after all. The majority of the time, both lawyers would be called to the stand because Amber's lawyers would spew nonsense and Johnny's lawyers would object in return. This is getting tiring for the judge. She's probably glad they're on a break. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at why the new judge is done with Amber Heard's lawyer. Yeah, you heard it right. So, there's this one time when Amber's lawyer presented a piece of evidence that looked like text messages between her and Johnny to help participate with the detox or to be on the island or anything along that line. Johnny's lawyer objected to this because it's a compound question that could confuse the witness. That's a common strategy by lawyers. The judge ended up allowing the evidence to be shown, but embarrassed Amber's lawyers in the process by saying that it's not her job to keep track of the evidence. This was already redacted in court. The lawyer kept on apologizing for her incompetence. You can't see the judge's face, but you can clearly hear the annoyance in her voice. The second time she got annoyed. She was trying to add up the remaining hours both parties had left to testify. Amber's lawyers tried to correct her, but it looks like they can't even do simple math. She was trying to school the lawyer, but she just wouldn't back down. Amber's other lawyers supported the judge, leaving the other lawyer in shambles. I'm not sure how she could face everyone after that. And now we have the moment when the judge got most annoyed with the Heard team. That's when they're witnessing the lawyers themselves misbehave in court. Okay, the judge looked completely shocked that they had the audacity to do this in front of her. Amber's team was laughing and talking to each other until the judge corrected them and told them to stop talking and remember that they were still in court. The judge is probably stressed out because of them. And while Johnny Depp's defamation action against his ex-wife Amber Heard may have been won by Johnny, the legal drama is far from done. Heard's attorneys have stated that she will file an appeal, which will likely take years. Time spoke with legal experts about the next steps in the case, Heard's chances of winning an appeal, and the potential scope of this legal battle. First, a brief overview of the case itself. Depp had sued Heard for an opinion piece she wrote for The Washington Post in 2016, in which she referred to herself as a public figure symbolizing domestic abuse. Heard did not identify Depp as her abuser. However, Depp argued that the opinion piece was detrimental to his career. Heard subsequently countersued, alleging that Depp's attorney, Adam Wallman, defamed her by calling her allegations a fake in the Daily Mail as Depp's agent. The actor had already lost a similar libel action against the tabloid The Sun in the United Kingdom in 2020. In that instance, a British judge noted that he deemed The Sun's claim that Depp was a wife beater and had beaten Heard on at least 12 occasions to be basically true. However, the conclusion of the case was decided by a judge, not a jury, and the trial was not televised, as was the case in the United States. In the American case, the jury awarded both Heard and Depp. They determined that Heard intentionally defamed Depp and awarded him $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive penalties. The judge then decreased the punitive damages to the $350,000 maximum allowed by Virginia law. In addition, the jury awarded Heard $2 million in compensatory damages for her counterclaim. Paying damages to Depp would indicate that the jury believed the Pirates of the Caribbean actor when he claimed that Heard lied about the abuse she reported, while awarding money to Heard contradictorily indicates that the jury felt her claims of abuse were not a hoax. Experts agree as to what Heard's legal team will or should do if they decide to appeal the case. The jury seems to believe Depp's account more than Heard, and experts concurred that appellate courts are typically unwilling to reconsider jury credibility determinations, even if this jury's conclusion was inconsistent. Family law attorney Rebecca Sullivan of Washington, D.C. said, "Anyone appealing faces an uphill struggle. According to the attorneys who talk with Time, Heard's team will likely argue that a legal error was made during the trial and will attempt to overturn the decision on the grounds that the jury was swayed by outside influences. Regardless of what Heard's legal team decides, an appeals court will not issue a ruling anytime soon." David Ring, a civil trial attorney in Los Angeles, describes the procedure as lengthy and costly. He and other experts predicted that the appeal would take a minimum of 2 years. Several attorneys who talk with Time estimated that it'll cost Heard hundreds of thousands of dollars on top of the millions of dollars she has undoubtedly already spent on legal expenses. However, if you're facing a $15 million judgment, adds Ring, you must likely pursue it. Before the appeals process even begins, it is likely that Heard or her insurance company will be required to post a bond proving that she has or can obtain the money that she owes Depp. Given that Heard and her attorneys have stated that this trial has been a financial strain for the star, it is uncertain whether Heard will be able to post bond. Nonetheless, if she chooses to continue, her legal team may have a better chance before an appeals court than before the jury of 5 men and 2 women that awarded Depp damages. Videos and memes of Depp and Heard on the witness stand with disproportionately pro-Depp commentary were ubiquitous on social media platforms such as TikTok. I would expect the appellate section of the case, where the audience consists of judges, to place a greater emphasis on logical arguments and a lot less emphasis on theatrics, adds Sullivan. On appeal, there would be no cameras, and Heard's testimony could not be dissected, edited, or misunderstood by social media. 3 appellate judges on the Virginia Court of Appeals would decide the case primarily on the attorney's written arguments. Depending on the outcome, the case could be appealed to the Virginia Supreme Court, which has the discretion to accept or reject the appeal, and then to the United States Supreme Court, which has the same discretion. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.